Watch out, it's the warning track.
Welcome back to another episode of The Warning Track. I'm your host, Clayton McMahon, back for another weekend roundup, and it is just, we're basically going to have to do rapid fire today. We have so many different, this may be the most names I've ever wrote down, and there were probably a few I still could have put on. Obviously, we only have 30 minutes. Going to be a great week. Hopefully, we can get Ethan on tomorrow. Logan Gilbert spun a gem last night, so Rafael Devers has been solid. But I think I might have won that deal, so that'll be fun to mess with him on Tuesday if he's available. We're recording this just a little after 10 a.m. on Monday, May 11th. So, like I said, we'll get right into the closing carousel, which actually probably doesn't have quite as many updates as you would expect, considering an entire weekend has happened. But there were some notable stuff. Probably the most notable of them all is Ryan Walker getting sent down to AAA. This just happened Sunday, and it made sense. Literally, his last 4 appearances, he'd given up runs, 2 blown saves in that time, ERA up to 6.46, walking a ton of guys. He has just not looked good this year. And it's just crazy because I meant to pull up Baseball Reference. You look at this guy's first 2 years. He was phenomenal. Took over last year a little bit when Camilo Duvall struggled. Yeah, especially his 2024 was just insane. The wins are, obviously somewhat luck-based, but 10 wins as a reliever, 76 appearances, a sub-2 ERA, 99 strikeouts in 80 innings. The K numbers his first 2 years were great. And then last year, he had a 4.11 ERA, but a 3.3 FIP. So it seems like he maybe had some bad luck, but the strikeouts weren't the best. This year, they're even a little worse. Yeah, no idea what happened with Ryan Walker, but like I said, now he's obviously out of any closing conversations. I think even if he gets brought back up, it's not going to look good. Now, the key is who is going to replace him, if it's even one guy, because I think he's coming back soon, but Eric Miller is still on the injured list. Yes, he is. But yeah, he's already making a rehab start or appearances as a reliever, so he won't be out for too long. And then Keaton Winn has been okay. He does not have any saves, which is interesting, but okay, actually he's been pretty good. The strikeout numbers aren't the best, but still, I think for the Giants, excuse me, they'll take anything they can get at this point. I think another interesting name is, really I think it comes down to Keaton Winn, or this guy's actually rostered in my ESPN league, but it's Caleb Killian, who we saw get a save about a week, or actually exactly 1 week ago. Yeah, it was last Monday. He's struggling with walks, 12 and 18 innings, but the ratios look really good. I don't see how it could be any of those other guys. Like I said, maybe Eric Miller, who I think has 2 saves. Yes, he does. And he has a really good strikeout number, 17 across 11 and a third. He had gotten a save in late April and then one in mid-April. Yeah, it was on a pretty dominant stretch there. Had back-to-back rough outings early April, but that's about it. So I think Eric Miller is worth watching. I think if I had to choose a name, I'd probably go Caleb Killian. But I think that's also just kind of a maybe not Twins level messy, but not far off. I think that was pretty rough. Another one that I think is definitely entered that battle is the Reds. So on Saturday, a reliever named Pierce Johnson got the save. Not really putting up crazy numbers. The whip's a little high. Solid ERA. Okay K numbers. But Tony Santillan, who I still have, has just been awful. What is this? 4 of his last 6 appearances, he's given up runs. 3 straight. His last one, which that would have been, Friday? Yeah. 4 earned runs, 2 homers, didn't even record an out. ERA's up to 5.17, a 1.53 whip. I'm rostering him right now. I don't think that's maybe going to be the case by the end of the day. I don't know how you can give it to him at this point. Pagan's obviously hurt. He's going to be out for a month or two. I think if there's one guy I would prefer. Now, he did pitch in the save that Pierce Johnson got. Graham Ashcraft did pitch in the 8th inning. But I think just looking at the numbers, I'm not the biggest fan of the walks, but you kind of have to take what you can get. I think considering how Santillan's pitched the last few weeks, if you force me to choose one, I think I'm choosing Graham Ashcraft. So for a situation that seemed pretty cut and dried, Santillan has definitely made it not so. I mean, yeah, that last outing is just brutal. Something to keep an eye on. I guess maybe keep an eye on Pierce Johnson too. Obviously, they used him in a save opportunity and he converted, but I think I'm still probably going Ashcraft over everybody at this point. Rico Garcia got another save, his 3rd on the year, 2nd since Ryan Helsley went on the IL. I mean, he's just putting up fantastic numbers, a .5 ERA, whip even lower, good K numbers. Not worried there. I don't think there's many notes on Helsley in a bit. Yeah, not since last Monday. So yeah, if he did resume throwing last week, I didn't see a note about it. So he's still probably a few weeks out. So until then, yeah, Rico Garcia is gonna be good for you. Pete Fairbanks is expected to be activated Wednesday, which that'll be good. He's had an interesting season, but yeah, as this note says, his numbers look pretty good. I think one of the outings was like the opener situation right before he went on the bereavement list, so they've kind of had to use him in weird ways. I'm not really concerned about Pete Fairbanks, so I think he'll step. Even though the numbers, like I said, 10 ERA obviously doesn't look good, but I think he'll slide in that role right when he comes back, so not too worried there. Tanner Scott got the save Friday. Alex Vesia was used in the 5th inning. I actually just dropped Alex Vesia this morning to pick up somebody. I don't think unless this is a deep league and you want the good, he'll help you with ratios. Alex Vesia is still really good. Excuse me. But yeah, I think that one's pretty cut and dried until Diaz comes back. So I think you can drop Vesia for other options if you're looking to pick somebody up. And then the last closing note, Jack Perkins has kind of been on a little bit of a rough stretch. Blew a save. Let's pull that up on ESPN. I'm trying to remember when he blew the save. So that was Wednesday. And then came in on Friday in the 9th inning. Got 2 outs, but gave up a run. And then Hogan Harris actually came in and finished the game off and got the save. So not really sure what to think there. His numbers still look really good. Like, he's not walking guys. Only 5 walks and 15 1/3, 21 strikeouts. I still think he's the guy to own. I think he's the best reliever in that bullpen, but outings like that keep on stacking them up, and it's not going to look good. So, like I said, that's closing carousel is just kind of the appetizer today. We have so many injuries, return from injuries, even a prospect. Actually, why don't we start with that? We will 1,000% be talking about Ryan Waldschmidt a lot more on tomorrow's show if Ethan can join. But the Diamondbacks called him up Friday. They demoted Alek Thomas, so it seems like Waldschmidt should have pretty regular playing time moving forward. They have him batting 9th, which kind of stinks. But that's where Thomas was batting, so it makes sense. And if he can play well, then maybe he'll move up. But he's had an okay start so far. Yeah, like I said, they called him up Friday. He didn't start, but had a pinch hit. And as you can see, he got the hit there. And then Sunday had a great game. 2 for 4, run, double, 3 ribbies. So he's put up really good. Actually, yeah, we can pull up his. I don't want to spend too much time on it. We just don't have enough time. But I think he's down like the 50s. No? Or 40. Okay, so he's a 44th overall prospect according to MLB.com. Pretty just overall. I mean, I think this scouting report kind of just says it all. He does a little bit of everything. Looking at his numbers so far in AAA, he's put up a 289 batting average, 877 OPS, 3 home runs, 6 stolen bases. Plate discipline is okay. As you can see in 2024, he put up way better numbers, had almost as many walks and strikeouts with 18 homers, 29 stolen bases. This year, the K numbers are up a little bit, but 19 walks in 34 games is still pretty good. So, yeah, I think he can be – it's a good lineup too. So, especially if he can move up in the lineup, I think he's a solid source of everything. It could be like a 10-10, 15-15 guy. Hopefully give you some decent runs and ribbies. Yeah, I mean, and then, wow, actually, that's really, really good. He had 114 runs on 134 games in 2025. So yeah, I think he represents a pretty high upside. I'd be interested to see. I got him in ESPN literally right before Ethan. That's why I really want to get Ethan on the show tomorrow. I'm going to guess probably high teens. 13. Okay, so I'm a little surprised, but I think he should be rostered more. Like, I'm trying to think of who I dropped, because I dropped Ramon Laureano. I know he was somebody I was high on earlier. He's had an awful kind of late April, early May. Hasn't even been playing regularly. And so I think he was worthy of it. I dropped him for somebody. I picked up Stephen Kwan. My dad actually dropped Stephen Kwan, picked him up. But yeah, let me double check, make sure I'm thinking. Yeah, I mean, this sat twice in the last week. That offense kind of been scuffling anyway. I mean, he still has been okay. I mean, you can see he's 57% rostered, but really hasn't contributed much in stolen bases since very, very early in the season. The home runs have been sporadic, yeah. So I think he's worthy of dropping. And then who else was it? I'm just gonna have to. Thursday. Oh, Benj. Yeah, I had picked up Carson Benj. And so, yeah, I think I would rather have Waldschmidt over Carson Benj. Now, Benj has actually been, the reason I picked him up, he hasn't been too bad the last kind of week and a half, 2 weeks. So I think he's also maybe worth looking at if somebody picked him up beginning of the season. And I know he wasn't really playing regularly, if I remember correctly, and definitely wasn't good even when he was. So, but yeah, I would rather have Waldschmidt over him, definitely over like a Laureano. I know some people are dropping Marcy. I just can't do it. I mean, this weekend he had a 3-run home run and 2 stolen bases. The upside's just too good. I think he has still been walking a decent amount. So the plate discipline's there. I think he's definitely going to be a bounce back. Okay, I guess maybe not the best. Actually, this is interesting because, yeah, he's played almost, not quite there, but played about as many games as he did in 2025. The runs are about the same. RBI numbers are way down. Obviously, the batting average is way down, but those ratios aren't fall off. As a matter of fact, he's been walking more, even if he struck out a little more. So, yeah, I just don't see how there's not a little bit of a bounce back from Marcy. I think it's also because I just really don't want to change my team name. But moving on, Blake Snell, actually going to stick with this team, shockingly came back and pitched on Saturday. The notes were suggesting that he was going to make one more rehab start and then pitch sometime this week or make his debut. I thought one of the notes. Yeah, he had been scheduled. So I assume it's because of the Tyler Glasnow injury, which I can't remember if he was officially on the IL when we talked about it Friday, but he did go on the IL with his back spasms. He didn't look the best, but I don't know if one of these notes mention it. I thought the CBS podcast mentioned that he had 22 swinging strikes. Let's see if I'm crazy here. Or 16. Okay, it must have been some other, but still 16 swinging strikes across 3 innings. Yeah, all his stuff looked good. There was no like velocity dips or anything like that. So I think he'll be fine. I'm sure he'll shake off some rust for a little bit, but and also, can we just take a minute? I mean, Jacob deGrom, Logan Gilbert, Blake Snell. That's a pretty mean rotation there. My offense has been fine without Devers, which is partly why I felt good getting rid of him, and I didn't even feel like I really sold low on him, or had to sell low on him. I got Logan Gilbert. So anyway, Carlos Rodon also made his season debut this weekend and didn't really fare much better than Snell. 4 1/3, 3 earned runs, 5 walks. I feel like he's always been somebody that, despite his amazing stuff, has always kind of dealt with some control issues. I guess last year, not too bad, but yeah, maybe I'm more thinking early in his career where, 55 walks and 120. So, his first year with the White Sox, 71 walks, 139 innings. So I guess maybe he's quelled it a little bit, but just something to keep an eye on. I'm sure Rodon will be fine. Same thing, just shaking off some rust. 15 minutes. We definitely need to get out of here. Kerry Carpenter, when the IL sprained AC joint, he's been all right. I mean, very low batting average, but he does have six homers, 17 RBIs, but not ideal. No really timetable on the return. I don't think it's gonna be out like months or anything, but not the best. This one will be sad. Jacob Wilson. Now, like I said, we're recording this and we're pushing 10:30 on Monday, May 11th. But Jacob Wilson sprained his shoulder, trying to dive for a grounder. This is the only guy I have across all three of my teams, and I'm guessing he's gonna go on the injured list. I couldn't find it. I swear there was a. Oh yeah, he's undergoing further imaging. Maybe this article mentioned it. Hopefully it's not bad. No. Yeah, I swore there was one that said like, he's probably gonna miss some time, but I could be wrong. I'm not seeing this article. Anyway, not ideal. He had actually been turning it around. I mean, he's batting almost 300 now. Last few weeks, kind of is doing exactly what you drafted him to do. A bunch of 2 for 5s, 1 for 3 games. Had even stolen a base, hit another homer, is up to 3 homers on the season, which I don't think anybody was expecting him to hit even 20, 25, let alone higher than that. But yeah, after the slow start, he's been pretty good. So that would really stink if he misses some time, but I think that's what's going to happen. Rhett Lauder is moving to IL with a shoulder injury. Luis Robert, this one's pretty brutal, has not resumed baseball activities since going on the injured list, which was sometime in late April. Yeah, I mean, he played there, but probably shouldn't have. So essentially since April 24th, pushing, 3 weeks now. I mean, I guess there's really not much to do. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's really not a timetable, but my guess is you're probably looking like early June at this point. He's definitely going to need to go on a rehab assignment. So, yeah, that one's unfortunate. Kind of some injury updates from guys we talked about Friday. Cole Reagans did go on the injured list with a left shoulder impingement. Man, I drafted him last year in a league and just dealt with all those injury struggles and whatnot. And so just seeing this again is super frustrating. Really no timetable on that either. I mean, they originally called it something called valgus extension overload, I guess pitcher's arm. I mean, he said, where was I? I know it was in one of those notes. Yeah, so Cole Reagan said last Thursday that he was already feeling much better than when he left Wednesday's contest. So it's possible he only misses the minimum or maybe a little more, but it's nerve-wracking nonetheless. I'm not really sure what to make of Reagan's. It's just been a mess. Now, one guy, thankfully, I mentioned last week about holding my breath on Joe Ryan. He came out and pitched pretty well. 6 innings, 1 earned run. It did have 3 walks, but 5 Ks, only 2 hits. And so, as you can see here, he even had some of the best velocity of his year, or of the year. So I think he's good, but that one was scary. Mookie Betts could return as soon as today, but most likely, or almost certainly sometime this week, barring a setback. Here we go. Yeah. So this note happened like not even an hour ago. Dave Roberts confirmed that he expects Betts to be activated from the 10-day injured list prior to Monday's game. Now, he's been out for forever. Yeah, pretty much the entire season. So that'll be a boost. I was not super high on Mookie Betts coming into the year, but he's definitely not going to be a scrub, especially in that lineup. So that'll be a big boost to come back. Bryce Miller, we found out how that rotation's going to look. Another reason why I'm excited to have Ethan on the show tomorrow. He's going to return from the injured list to start Wednesday's game. And then there was a report from the Seattle Times that Seattle's going to temporarily do a 6-man rotation. And then Bryce Miller will get piggybacked with Luis Castillo the following week during a series against the White Sox. Now, I don't know if that is potentially just to kind of build up Bryce Miller a little more. If Luis Castillo is definitely done. I'd be interested to see if there were any notes on. Yes, there was. Yeah, and I guess for context, Luis Castillo against the White Sox on Saturday, 4 earned runs in 4 innings, had 6 strikeouts, gave up 2 homers, up to a 6.57 ERA in the season. He's been awful. So it looks like he will be starting Thursday against the Astros. Yeah, and then piggyback with Bryce Miller. So that's brutal. He was still only like a mid-round pick, but I think he's essentially going to be worthless if he's piggybacking with Bryce Miller. And obviously that kills Bryce Miller's value too. So any of the Emerson Hancock owners can, I think, rest easy. Logan Webb went on the injured list with knee bursitis. He had been dealing with some knee issues last week or so. The notes I saw, they don't expect him to be gone at all, at just the minimum, really. But not ideal. He hasn't really been the best this year anyway. Strikeout numbers are down, 5.06 ERA. Obviously, you spent actually, I can't check with him, but this guy's team name is definitely troublesome for the show. But he was drafted super early, so it's obviously not ideal, but I think he'll be fine when he gets back. Taj Bradley went on the injured list with pectoral inflammation. I did not see if there was a timetable for his return. I did not see it. Yeah, completely unknown. And obviously, he still has been having his great season. 2.87 ERA, 52 strikeouts across 47 innings. So that's a pretty big blow. Especially since, if nothing else, you got him really cheap. I don't even think Taj Bradley was being drafted at all. So, and then probably the last one. This one's just kind of sad, honestly. The Blue Jays, I think it was on Thursday or Friday, got back Addison Barger. So Saturday. Who had been on the IL for quite a while with an ankle sprain. Plays one game, and now he's going to undergo an MRI on his right elbow after waking up Sunday with a limited range of motion. That's an MLB.com report. And so, I don't even know if he was... Okay, yeah. So, he was drafted in the mid-rounds. As you can see, he's kind of bounced here. Ethan had him at one point, and he batted second, too. So, he was in a good spot in the lineup in that one game that he came back. Batted second. So I'll be interested to see what comes out of this. Even though he's not a pitcher, it's not unheard of for like Tommy John to potentially happen. Like I said, we don't have an update on the MRI, but I'm sure we'll be able to talk about it on tomorrow's show. So I think it's pretty much all the time we have. I was actually pretty impressed. I didn't know if we were going to be able to get through all of that, but and there were a few guys like Garrett Cole made another rehab start. So like I said, there was definitely some news we missed out on, but there's only so much you can talk about in 30 minutes. So thank you for joining another episode of The Warning Track. Like I said, we'll hopefully have Ethan on tomorrow, as usual on Tuesdays, and get to mess with him about his squad, about the trade, hear his thoughts on the trade. And so until next time, make sure you're checking out other episodes, other shows on Wing 15 Plus. And until then, I will see you next time.
Watch out, it's the Warning Track.